Hi, I'm Luke with AWS, and welcome to This Is My Architecture. Today we're here with Jeff from Verizon Wireless, and we'd love to learn more about your application. Hi, Jeff.
Hi, Luke. Our application is called Verizon Messages. It runs on both iOS and Android. So the application will allow users to have rich messaging experience, like syncing message across devices, send large file, and also send gift card to their friends.
Excellent. So why don't you walk me through a little bit about this? How does it work?
Yeah, so our service actually is running in two regions inside AWS, the East and the West. And we use different components inside AWS. We use the Route 53, we use ELB, we use the ECS container to manage our application. And we also use Kafka as our messaging bus to route messages. And finally, we also have Redis key value store to store some information for the users.
Okay, so how does this work? Walk me through this step by step. When you have a customer on the East Coast and they want to connect to your, they want to load the Verizon Messages application, what happens next?
Right, so the first step is that when the user opens up our application, it will talk to Route 53, which will route the user to the closest region based on latency. So because most users, when they communicate with friends in the same region, so it's better to keep them in the same region with low latency. So the first step is they connect, talk to Route 53, connect to this region through ELB. ELB will connect them to one of our server that's called a message server. So when they connect to the message server will send a message into Kafka about their location, because we need to know which server the user connects to. And once the message goes to Kafka, another server called registration server pick up the message, and it will store the location information in the Redis key value store.
Excellent. And both of these are services running on ECS in Docker containers, is that right?
Correct, correct. Both our servers are running in ECS containers.
Okay, and you use ELB. Are these services auto-scaling as well?
Yes, they are auto-scaling. Actually, it's very easy to auto-scale. We can just go to the console. For example, if we're running 5 of this server, and if we want to run 7, we just change the number from 5 instance to 7 instance. And the thing I really love about ECS is that automatically it will configure ELB to change the routing from 5 server to 7 server.
Okay, excellent. Now let's say I have another customer that's connecting on the West Coast, and they want to send messages to each other. How does that happen? How do you route the messages between regions?
Actually, in the previous step, besides sending the location information in Kafka, there's something called Mirror Maker, listen on the same topic, and replicate the location of this user A to the other side, Kafka. And the registration server on the other side will pick it up and store in Redis as well on the west side. So now in this case, both region knows where is that particular server at any given point, so that we can route the message based on the location of the user.
That's great. So the customer on the West Coast, they can connect, and they can send messages to the friends on the East Coast with no problems at all. And each one of these key value stores has a complete location information for every customer?
Exactly, exactly. They will be identical on both sides, so that we have the identical information about where is the user at any given point. So now let's say user A needs to send a message to user B. User A will send a message to the message server through ELB. When message server receives the message, it looks up, okay, where is user B inside Redis? It finds out user B actually is on the other region on a particular server. So it will push the message to a topic that targeted to the other region. And once it sends to Kafka, we use Mirror Maker to replicate that message to that particular topic in the other region. Once the West region Kafka will see the message server on this region, because it listened to that particular topic, it will pick the message up and then send it to user B.
Wow, that's great. Mm-hmm. So we have millions of Verizon Wireless customers using this today.
Right, right.
Excellent. Thanks, Jeff, for giving us your time today.
My pleasure.
And thank you for watching. This is My Architecture.